So perhaps they got cowed when these people were coming into the National Assembly. I mean, that's definitely a possibility. But how do we explain their getting out? What we saw, I mean, the visuals that we later on saw, we saw them run out of the National Assembly, overpower some of the chamber aides who tried to, you know, wrestle them down, including a woman who was injured, sadly. But we also saw that there were lots of security. Shouldn't they have been able to alert, you know, those security men at the first gate and then perhaps at the second gate as well?
Back to the same thing I've been saying. The same thing in any part of Nigeria, Chibok, Dapchi. Something happens, those around there will keep quiet. We have this culture of keeping quiet, of silence, until something happens, and few minutes later, after everybody will have gone, then people start shouting. Armed robbers, you go to a particular place, everybody will keep quiet. They go away, and then you start shouting after 30 minutes, when those guys must have left. Nobody bothers to call anybody. We have a system where you don't even know whom to call, and the person you call will not even answer you. We're all looking after ourselves. No, it's my life first. Let me look after myself. Why should I look after others? And it's a massive, massive issue.
And you think that was what happened yesterday?
It's part of
what happened. Were the security agencies afraid?
Well, if they're not, why is it that it is when everybody had moved or those guys had gone? That's when you now see everybody flocking around, moving and running helter-skelter. People will run away because if I get injured, what happened? Who appreciates what I'm doing? Nobody. And it's a major, major issue in Nigeria as of today. Nobody is sanctioned. It is part of what we're going to discuss later. Nobody is sanctioned for not performing their responsibility. We encourage impunity. What will I do? If I don't do anything, nobody does anything. So why do I give a damn about what really happened? Until we start sanctioning those who don't perform their duties or responsibilities, we will continue to have this type of embarrassing situation.
General, you know, in the same Senate chamber a few days ago, there was quite a bit of concern raised by the senators concerning the security situation in the country. And many of them even went to the extent of calling for the sack of the nation's security chiefs. What are your thoughts on that, and do you believe that there's some veracity to some of their positions?
To me, there are two issues involved there. One is everybody has the constitutional responsibility of making a request, of clamoring, of shouting about what is really happening, the Senate inclusive. The presidential system of government is based on lobbying, and whether you like it or not, people have gone to them, look, we can't continue to live the way we are living. That is one part. The second part is, have we actually done the basics to make sure that things are working? If you bring a new set of human beings, bring them from anywhere in the world, we are going to have the same results. One, what is the collaboration or cooperation between the executive arm of government and the legislative arm of government? Two, what is the level of trust among the security agencies? There is no trust. Let us not deceive ourselves. If the Department of State Services have an information now, I'm very sure they will not pass it to the police, because they believe is once they know about it, those they are running after will get to know about all these things. What is the attitude of the average Nigerian to providing information, intelligence to those who are working? We believe that, look, once you're in uniform, it is your job. It is not my responsibility. I said it the other day when I came here. I can only secure you through you. If you are not ready to provide me with information, there is no magic anywhere. Even if you have the best of the equipment, the problem will still remain that it is the human beings, the human intelligence that matters most, and it is not available here. Above all, look at the Constitution. We don't have the national aspiration. What do you want to be in Nigeria? What do you want the country to be? The only thing in the Constitution is we, the people of Nigeria, that agreed to live in peace and harmony, and we are struggling to have that peace. There is nothing above living in peace and harmony. What do you want to be? Just to be Nigerians? Just to roll all over? I give an example. The Brazilian defense industry was established the same year as Nigerian Defense Industry Corporation. And yet, those guys have started manufacturing, even if it is packing or maybe pulling together all these items. They've started bringing out aircraft. They've started doing tanks. We are still struggling to have arms and small arms, AK-47 and 7.62 mm here in Nigeria. What is the aspiration? At one time, we were trying to do that. We assisted the South Africans. What is happening right now? The South Africans are virtually taking over our economy through the DSTV, through MTN. Yet we feel, oh, we are the giant. Which giant? So please, the problem is twofold. Let us provide the requirement for those guys for them to perform. If you change, and they have every right to clamor for changes, but have they done their own duty? Have every Nigerian done our duties to make sure that things work? So
what we require is an overhaul, from what you're saying.
Yes, everybody inclusive, from schools. Let the education system look at the security situation and be able to educate our kids, so that from there they have that belief that yes, it's my responsibility.
But that overhaul, a lot of people was going to say, is going to come from leadership. If I'm right, if you have a plan, you must have a plan which says, why is our security system failing? If we look at the security agencies themselves, why don't they trust themselves? You know, why are people reluctant to share information with the security agencies? Because people have done so in the past as well, and they have gotten their fingers burnt. You know, so I think there are questions to be asked as to what is going on at the level of leadership, and which particular leadership should we be looking at? Is it the executive arm of government, for instance, or should the leadership come from the security chiefs themselves? You know, so for instance, who's going to overhaul the police, if not the Nigeria police force itself?
Yeah, that's the, let me take the last one you said. Who is going to overhaul the police, if not the police system itself? Yes, that is the basics, or the best way, or the way to go about it. If the police itself does not want to be shocked, because when you change by yourself, it is easy. You get through it in a very easy way, comfortable way. If somebody comes from outside to change you, it could be disastrous. It could be very, very painful. And that is why a lot of organizations tend to reform themselves internally. Because if you allow somebody from outside to come and reform you, too bad. Because the man is coming with an ad. He has a mandate, and he wants to achieve that mandate. We've given the police a major problem, even with the Constitution. The Constitution had placed the police under two masters, the Police Service Commission and the Minister. We used to have a police ministry before this government decided to scrap it. Even with that, you still have the police reporting to the Minister of Interior. So you have two masters. And the IG is there. He is not actually in control of the promotion and posting of his men, especially the officers. So what they've done was the IG talks to the area commander by passing the commissioner, because he believes, okay, since you are posted, it is from PSC. And apart from the former IG, Okiro, who is the chairman of the PSC, most of the others are politicians or people from all walks of life. So who don't even understand what policing is all about.